The Galactic Empire had always been a powerful force in the universe. They controlled many planets and ruled over countless species. For centuries, they kept order and peace, using their mighty fleets and advanced technology. No one dared to challenge them. But one day, something strange happened. The Empire sent a message across the galaxy, one that caught everyone's attention. "Humans, stay away from Earth!" The message was simple, yet it spread like wildfire. It was broadcasted on every planet, in every language, so that no one would miss it. The warning was clear. Humans were no longer allowed to visit Earth, their home planet. Any human caught near Earth would face severe punishment from the Galactic Empire. People all over the galaxy were confused. Why was the Empire suddenly so strict about Earth? Humans had left Earth a long time ago. They had spread out across many different planets, building new homes in distant parts of the galaxy. Some humans were even living on planets controlled by the Empire. So why would the Empire care about Earth now? Human leaders were especially puzzled. They gathered quickly to discuss the warning. The president of Earth's government, Sarah King, was furious. She stood up in the meeting room, slamming her fist on the table. "This makes no sense," she shouted. "Why are they telling us to stay away from our own planet? What are they hiding?" The other leaders nodded in agreement. It was a mystery, and they didn't like it. Earth had been abandoned centuries ago when humans left to explore the stars. It had become a quiet, forgotten planet. Now, out of nowhere, the Galactic Empire seemed afraid of humans going back. A young military officer, Captain James Carter, spoke up. "Maybe they found something valuable on Earth, something they don't want us to know about." His suggestion made everyone in the room think. Could the Empire be hiding something? Could there be some secret on Earth that the humans didn't know about? The leaders quickly realized that they needed answers. "We need to investigate," said President King. "We can't just sit here and accept this warning. Earth is our home, and we have the right to return if we want to." But it wasn't that simple. The Galactic Empire was powerful. Their fleets were huge, and their weapons were advanced. If humans defied the warning, they could face a terrible war. The leaders knew they had to be careful. Still, they couldn't ignore the warning. They had to figure out why the Empire was so concerned about Earth. President King ordered a group of spies to gather information. These spies were highly trained and worked in secret. They would sneak into the Empire's communications and try to find out the truth. As the days passed, the warning continued to bother humans everywhere. Ordinary people on human colonies whispered about it in markets and homes. Some were scared, thinking the Empire was about to attack them. Others were angry, believing that the Empire had no right to control Earth. Captain Carter, meanwhile, was preparing his crew for a dangerous mission. He had been chosen to lead a small team of rebels who would fly close to Earth and see what the Empire was hiding. It was risky, but Carter was ready. He wanted to know the truth. The warning had shaken humanity. What had started as a simple message from the Empire had now turned into a serious threat. And deep down, every human knew that something big was about to happen. The Empire's warning wasn't just about keeping humans away from Earth. It was about hiding something far more important. Humans would not sit quietly. They were ready to fight, ready to discover the truth. And soon, they would make their move. The warning from the Galactic Empire weighed heavily on humanity. As people across the galaxy speculated about the reasons behind the Empire's sudden fear of Earth, a small group of spies was working hard to uncover the truth. They were determined to find out why the Empire wanted to keep humans away from their home planet. Captain James Carter led the team of spies, composed of skilled and brave individuals. They gathered in a hidden base on a distant moon, far from the Empire's watchful eyes. The base was dark and quiet, with only the sound of their voices breaking the silence. Carter stood at the front, his face serious. "We need to understand what the Empire is hiding," he said. "They issued that warning for a reason. We must get close to Earth and find out." The team quickly devised a plan. They would use a small, stealthy ship to approach Earth. It was an old model, but it had been modified to avoid detection. If they could reach Earth, they might discover what the Empire was afraid of. As they prepared for the mission, anxiety filled the air. Everyone knew the risks. If the Empire caught them, they would face severe punishment. But the desire to protect Earth was stronger than their fear. They set off in the dark of night, flying toward the blue planet that had been home to humans for thousands of years. After several days of traveling, they finally arrived near Earth's orbit. The view was breathtaking. From space, Earth looked like a beautiful blue marble with swirling white clouds and vast green lands. But they also noticed something strange. Imperial ships were patrolling the area. The Empire was serious about keeping humans away. Carter and his team waited for the right moment to sneak in. They watched the patrols, counting the ships and timing their movements. After hours of careful observation, they spotted a gap in the patrols. This was their chance. The team activated their ship's cloaking device and slipped past the Imperial ships. As they descended toward Earth, excitement mixed with fear. They had no idea what they would find. Landing in a remote area, far from cities and people, the team stepped out of their ship. The air felt different, thicker and charged with history. They were standing on the soil of their ancestors, a place that had been forgotten for so long. As they explored, they stumbled upon old structures hidden beneath the overgrown trees. These were remnants of a once great civilization left behind when humanity left Earth. The buildings were crumbling, but they still held a sense of power. Suddenly, one of the team members, Sarah, noticed something glimmering in the dirt. She bent down to investigate and uncovered a strange device. It was a piece of ancient technology, unlike anything they had seen before. The device hummed softly, almost as if it were alive. Carter's heart raced. "This must be what the Empire is after," he exclaimed. "They want to keep us away from our own technology." They quickly realized that the device was just the beginning. As they continued to explore, they found more hidden structures filled with advanced technology, ships, weapons, and tools long forgotten by humanity. The Empire had not only warned humans to stay away, they were stealing these resources for themselves. With this shocking discovery, the team knew they had to act fast. They gathered as much information as they could and prepared to return to their ship. But just as they were about to leave, they heard a noise. Imperial soldiers had arrived, alerted by their presence. Panic set in. Carter shouted for everyone to run. They dashed through the trees, dodging branches and underbrush. The soldiers were close behind, shouting orders and searching for them. The team reached their ship just in time. They quickly boarded and activated the engines, feeling the heat of the soldiers' pursuit. As they lifted off the ground, they glanced back and saw the soldiers waving their weapons in frustration. With their hearts pounding, they flew back into space, knowing they had uncovered a dark secret. The Galactic Empire was hiding incredible technology on Earth, and they were willing to go to great lengths to keep it from humanity. As they sped away from the blue planet, Carter and his team realized that they had to warn the others. They would not let the Empire continue its deceit. The fight for Earth and humanity's future had just begun. After their daring mission on Earth, Captain James Carter and his team returned to their hidden base, their hearts still racing from the close call with the Galactic Empire. They had uncovered the Empire's dark secret, ancient technology that could give humanity a fighting chance. Now they needed to prepare for war. As they gathered in the base's main room, the atmosphere was tense but electric. Carter stood in front of a large screen displaying images of the technology they had found. The room was filled with a mix of military leaders, scientists, and passionate volunteers, all eager to take back Earth. "We have a chance," Carter began, his voice strong and confident. "The Empire thinks we are weak, but we have something they want. We must use this technology to our advantage." The group nodded, excitement building. They knew that if they were going to fight the Empire, they needed a solid plan. The first step was to awaken the ancient technology they had discovered. Scientists set to work immediately, carefully studying the devices and weapons found on Earth. They were determined to unlock their secrets. Days turned into weeks as the team worked tirelessly. They faced many challenges, but their determination never wavered. Every piece of technology they activated revealed more about Earth's past and the incredible power it held. The scientists were amazed by the advanced weapons and ships they were uncovering, far beyond anything the Empire had. Meanwhile, military leaders coordinated with the colonies spread across the galaxy. Messages were sent out, calling for volunteers to join the fight. "We need every able person to stand with us," they announced. "This is not just a fight for Earth, it's a fight for our future." As word spread, more and more people signed up. Colonies that had once lived peacefully began to prepare for war. Families said their goodbyes, knowing they might never return. The spirit of unity grew strong as humans from different backgrounds came together for one cause: to reclaim their home. Carter and his team organized training sessions for the new recruits. They taught them how to use the ancient weapons and how to pilot the newly discovered ships. The training was tough, but everyone was eager to learn. They practiced every day, honing their skills and building teamwork. Slowly, a sense of confidence replaced the fear they had felt just weeks before. One night, as they gathered around a campfire, Carter shared his vision with the group. "We are not just fighting for ourselves," he said, looking each person in the eye. "We are fighting for our children, for the future of humanity. The Empire thinks they can control us, but they will learn they are wrong." His words inspired everyone. They realized they were part of something much bigger than themselves. Together, they were fighting for their right to exist and thrive as a species. As the preparations continued, scouts reported that the Empire was becoming restless. Imperial ships were seen patrolling the outer edges of the human colonies, signaling that they were aware of the growing threat. The Empire knew something was brewing, but they underestimated the resolve of humanity. Finally, the day came when they were ready. Carter stood before his assembled forces, a diverse group of men and women, young and old, all ready to fight. "Today we take back what is ours," he declared, raising his fist. "We fight for Earth, for our families, and for our future. Let them hear us." Cheers erupted from the crowd, echoing through the base. The atmosphere was charged with energy and determination. They were ready to launch their first attack against the Galactic Empire, armed with the knowledge and power of their ancestors. As they boarded their ships, the weight of the moment settled over them. This was not just a battle, it was a fight for their identity, their home, and their place in the universe. With one last look at each other, they knew they would either succeed together or fall together. And so, with their hearts full of hope and bravery, the fleet of human ships took off into the stars, ready to confront the Galactic Empire and reclaim Earth once and for all. The excitement of preparation was still fresh in the air when the Galactic Empire finally struck. Captain James Carter and his team had been readying themselves for war, but they never expected the Empire to act so quickly. As dawn broke one morning, alarms blared throughout their hidden base, shaking everyone awake. Carter rushed to the command center, where his officers were frantically monitoring the situation. A large screen showed Imperial ships moving toward the human colonies. The Empire was launching an attack, and they were not holding back. "They're coming for us!" shouted one of the officers, pointing at the screen. "They're sending a full fleet!" Panic rippled through the room, but Carter took a deep breath and steadied himself. "We can't let fear take over. We must respond quickly. Gather the troops and prepare the ships." Within minutes, soldiers and volunteers rushed to the hangars, readying themselves for battle. Carter's heart raced as he looked around at the faces of his team. Fear and determination mixed in their eyes. They had trained hard, but now it was time to put that training to the test. As the fleet of human ships launched into space, Carter addressed his crew. "Today, we fight for our homes, for our families, and for our future. Remember what we've learned and stay together. We will not let the Empire take us down without a fight." The ships moved into formation, flying toward the approaching Imperial fleet. The sight was daunting, huge ships filled with soldiers and weapons. The Empire had come to crush them, but Carter and his crew would not back down. As the two fleets closed in, the first shots were fired. Laser beams lit up the dark expanse of space, creating a chaotic dance of light. The sound of alarms filled the ships as humans fought to evade the enemy fire. Carter's heart raced as he navigated through the chaos, giving commands to his crew. "Focus on the lead ship. That's where their command is!" he yelled. The crew nodded, working together with precision as they aimed their weapons at the enemy. The ancient technology they had unlocked was powerful, and they needed to use it wisely. The battle was fierce. Human ships flew in tight formations, dodging enemy fire while returning their own. Carter's ship was in the thick of it, weaving in and out of danger. He could see other human ships getting hit, explosions lighting up the dark sky. But the Empire was not prepared for the strength of the human spirit. Many of the Empire's ships were caught off guard by the unexpected power of the human fleet. Carter watched in awe as his crew executed maneuvers they had practiced countless times, turning the tide of the battle. In the midst of the chaos, Carter spotted a massive Imperial ship that seemed to be controlling the battle. "That's the command ship," he shouted. "If we take it down, we can disrupt their forces." With renewed determination, Carter led a squadron of ships toward the command ship. They dodged laser fire weaving through the chaos. The ship loomed larger, and Carter felt a surge of adrenaline. This was their chance. As they closed in, they unleashed a barrage of fire. Explosions rocked the command ship, and its shields flickered under the attack. "Keep pushing! We're almost there!" Carter urged his crew. Just as they thought victory was in sight, an explosion rocked their ship. Alarms blared, and the control panel flickered. Carter gripped the controls tightly, fighting to keep the ship steady. "Status report!" he yelled. "We've lost shields! We're taking heavy damage!" A crew member shouted back. Carter's heart sank, but he knew they couldn't give up. "We have to finish this! Everyone aim for the command center!" With one final push, they launched a powerful attack at the command ship. The blast was tremendous, and the ship shuddered violently. For a moment, time seemed to freeze. Then, with a deafening roar, the command ship exploded into a brilliant fireball, scattering debris across space. The Empire's fleet faltered, confusion spreading among their ranks. Carter felt a rush of hope. They had struck a significant blow against the Empire, but the fight was far from over. As the human fleet regrouped, they realized this was only the beginning of their struggle. The battle for Earth had started, and humanity was ready to stand and fight. The victory against the Galactic Empire was just the beginning. After destroying the command ship, Captain James Carter and his crew felt a surge of hope and determination. They had shown the Empire that humanity would not back down. Now it was time to take back Earth. As the human fleet regrouped after the battle, Carter gathered his officers for a strategy meeting. "We have gained the upper hand, but we cannot stop now," he said, looking around the room. "We need to push forward and reclaim our planet." The officers nodded in agreement. They knew that the Empire would not give up easily. Reports from their scouts revealed that Imperial ships were still patrolling the area, and the threat was far from over. Carter laid out a plan. "We will split our forces. Some ships will distract the Empire, while others land on Earth to secure key locations." The team quickly discussed the details and prepared for the next phase of their mission. As they approached Earth, the excitement and tension grew. The blue planet appeared beautiful but dangerous, with Imperial ships still hovering in its orbit. The crew felt a mix of hope and fear. They knew this would be a fight for their home. The distraction fleet took off first, drawing the Empire's attention away from the landing ships. Carter led the landing team, focused on the mission ahead. They descended toward a remote area of Earth, aiming for a small military base that had been abandoned for years. When they landed, the team quickly disembarked. The air was fresh and familiar, filled with the sense of nature. Carter felt a sense of nostalgia wash over him. This was where humanity had thrived, and now they were back to reclaim it. As they moved toward the base, they encountered old technology still intact. The team worked quickly to reactivate the defenses and prepare for any incoming attacks. They knew the Empire would soon realize their mistake and send forces to stop them. Within hours, the base was operational again. The alarms were reactivated, and the old defense systems hummed to life. Carter smiled, knowing they were gaining a significant advantage. The Empire had underestimated humanity, and now they would see the consequences. Just as they finished, a warning came through. "Incoming ships!" shouted one of the officers. Carter's heart raced as he rushed to the control panel. Through the screens, he saw the Imperial ships approaching. They were ready to fight. "Prepare for battle," Carter ordered, gathering his team. They took their positions, ready to defend their new home. The atmosphere was electric with adrenaline and determination. As the Imperial ships drew closer, Carter's team opened fire with the newly activated defenses. Laser beams shot into the sky, hitting the enemy ships. The Empire was not prepared for the fierce resistance they faced. The battle raged on. Carter coordinated the defense, directing fire and using every tactic they had learned during training. The soldiers fought bravely, remembering their loved ones and the reason they were fighting. The Imperial ships retaliated, but they were met with unexpected strength. The humans held their ground, using the ancient technology to gain the upper hand. One by one, Imperial ships were forced to retreat, and hope began to rise among the defenders. After hours of fierce fighting, the Empire finally pulled back. Their ships left Earth's atmosphere, realizing they could not defeat the humans. A cheer erupted among Carter's team as they watched the enemy retreat. But their victory was not just against the Empire, it was also a reclaiming of their identity. They had fought for their home, their families, and their future. Carter felt a sense of pride as he looked around at his team, all of them standing together, united in purpose. With the Empire driven away, the team began to celebrate their hard-won victory. They knew that the battle was not over completely, but they had taken back their planet and proven their strength. Carter stood at the edge of the base, looking out at the Earth. "This is just the beginning," he said to himself. "We will rebuild and ensure that humanity will never be underestimated again." As the sun set over the horizon, the humans stood together, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. They had fought bravely, and now they were home,